This episode is brought to you by the future. Oatly had experts look into the future, which is totally possible, by the way, and then report back about what things will taste like when we get there. Learn about bold ideas, the dawn of decaf, and the rise of fiber in the Future of Taste report on Oatly.com. Well, welcome back to the coffee show, everyone. I am the most wrecked I think I've ever been. I clocked nearly 100 hours worked last week So we opened my new shop, Project Zero 2.0, which is, I guess we'll now call it the most controversial coffee shop in the world. It has gone viral beyond what I thought was possible. And the man sitting opposite me is largely responsible for that. So welcome to the coffee show, Hany Ezzat.
Thank you very much for having me. I think we've started the fuck pre-batch movement.
We have. Yeah, we have. We started the fuck pre-batch movement. And you know what? Let me ask you a question. When you posted that reel, did you think it would go as viral as it has? Because last time I checked, it's like 640,000 views and counting, like 14,000 shares, and like just myriad comments just detesting me.
Yeah, well, I definitely remember like coming in and telling you that I was going to be making a video that could be a little bit controversial and asking you if you were okay with it, and you said it was quite fine. And I kind of remember when I was putting it together thinking like, oh, this has potential to be a bit of a banger just because I think it's such a interesting topic, and I know that a lot of people would have an opinion. However, I didn't think it would like cause as much like angst and also just like complete mayhem in comments that, you know, kind of myself finding it quite funny how upset people were getting, and also just the fact that like people were already assuming what it tasted like before even knowing or trying it or, you know, landing on their high horse. It was kind of crazy.
Well, it's been, look, and on my end, it's been absolutely nuts because like people DMing me, both good and bad, mostly good in the DMs, lots of negative comments, and lots of, like a lack of belief from some people. But the response from the industry, like people working in the industry, has been unanimously 100% supportive. And, you know, I guess throughout this, we'll go over the reasons why that is and what my motivations and stuff are. But like, you know, since we opened, obviously the people have seen the clips of like the taps and stuff like that and the espresso coming out of them. A lot of Melbourne's heavyweights in coffee and specialty coffee have been coming in and sussing out the situation and looking to probably copy it themselves.
Absolutely.
And like the response from within the industry has been so encouraging. And like, this isn't my first time kind of like trying to shaping how we do things in coffee, you know, with Sub-Zero, like that changed the way a lot of people made coffee around the world. And, you know, yourselves are on
absolutely
a coffee.
Right there. We were there with you.
Yeah. And you were there with me at all the pop-ups and that kind of like shaped, like a lot of people message me to this day. And, you know, I truly, truly, truly believe in what I'm doing right now with the taps. And, you know, the response has just been unbelievable. Like, it's weird dealing with this level of international notoriety. Like there's, you know, people reaching out from the media wanting to cover it. There's other coffee podcasters covering it. People, you know, making content from overseas directly about it. It's been really overwhelming.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I think, you know, the sentiment of what you've said, it's true. You know, I think a lot of, for me, if you're doing something really good, you kind of get responses like that. If you're getting all of this negative exposure and publicity around something, usually that means you're kind of doing something groundbreaking, you're doing something different, but more importantly, you might be on the right track. You know, myself as an innovator yourself, in the past we've been told, you know, things, you know, you can't do these things and these things aren't good. But I think these are like living and breathing examples of kind of like backing yourself and backing your idea. And yeah, this pre-batch thing, I think we've started it, and the way it's being perceived and the way that it's starting to spread, I believe this is going to be like the pioneering movement. There's going to be so many different versions of this. We've seen it. I've seen this thing for months, years actually. I've been shown this with a Uber Plus, which you're getting soon, and kind of the idea is it's like, yeah, everyone has the same idea, but who's actually doing it and who's doing the groundbreaking side of it? And I think like that's a testament to kind of what you're doing here and doing it in Melbourne, a place where kind of, specialty coffee is born and it's the coffee capital of the world. And we're getting to that stage now where people, you're getting that support from the industry because the industry is backed into a corner right now with the climate here in Australia. And I think that's what we'd love to cover at some point of today. Like we actually need this. It's not a gimmick. We actually need pre-batch espresso to make a good bottom line. Because if a normal cafe right now, like a good cafe might be making 10% profit, I'd be better off putting my, $400,000 that I borrow for a cafe in shares.
Yeah.
I'd make more money over the
or
long
like
period.
Pokemon cards or like
exactly.
something.
Quite literally anything else, and I'd get a better return. So kind of really good for people to think about that, like from an industry point of view, we're forced to kind of go this way, but then the innovation and the opportunity between it is the exciting part.
Well, this is one of the crazy things, like, and you mentioned Melbourne and being the coffee capital of the world. Like in many ways, yeah, we're doing great, but like the Melbourne population, I don't think appreciates the level of quality, efficiency, and price that we offer. Because if you travel to London, the average coffee is much worse. It's much more expensive. And like, there's so many reasons why Melbourne is amazing for coffee, but I just don't feel like the public really understands the challenge that the Melbourne coffee industry is facing. And it's existential because, I was talking to someone about this today, and that there's the potential for, the independent coffee shop to die. Like it's very real. Electricity goes up 20% every year at the moment in this country. Insurance is going up every year. It's just nuts. The wages go up every year, and the rent always goes up. The coffee beans has been very turbulent. So, the C price, and then the exchange rate's been really bad for Australia. So our dollar's been really weak, and of course coffee's traded in US dollars. So it's actually been far more expensive just because of the exchange rate. And, the last couple of weeks it's gone up, but there's so many reasons why the cafe industry is really struggling, and people's the price of a latte can't go up. So what is there left to do? What is there left to do? There's no other way. There is no other way but to innovate, but to try and make your processes better, to try and,
the word is optimize, right? Like how are we optimizing? And mainly, again, like all those things you mentioned, these are things cutting into your bottom line. And the reason that you open the cafe, that you can make some really good money. We're not buying ourselves jobs, because right now, a lot of people who are buying a cafe thinking they're going to make money, they just buy themselves a job with a pretty decent bonus at the end of the year. But realistically, they could go to very many other industries and make a whole bunch more money, which is kind of sad considering maybe when you and I were baby baristas, that was kind of the dream. That was my dream. And I remember opening a cafe and seeing the margin, but the effort versus the margin that was being made, that was when I kind of knew I need to be in a different part of the industry. But it's really crazy. I've been doing sales and opening cafes for people for the last 7 years, maybe open 100 plus cafes. I've never been excited about opening a cafe myself until when I walked into that shop and said, fuck, finally I'm excited about something in a cafe, and I'm open and willing to go in with someone on a cafe because I can see the future there, and it needs refinement, of course. And I think that's why we're getting a lot of controversy, because there's things that need to be refined. But in reality, I can guarantee anybody, I'll challenge anybody on this podcast, anyone listening, come and see me. I'll make you a pre-batched and I'll make you a normal flat white. And if you can tell the difference 10 times out of 10, I'll pay you.
Yeah, well,
we'll both pay you. We'll both pay you.
You won't, like, spoiler alert, you won't be able to. Like, if you know, some of the most respected people in the industry can't tell. Last year, if you came to the Melbourne International Coffee Expo and you came to my shop, there was our most popular blend. It's called strawberry cheesecake. Strawberry co-fermented coffee blended with some others and tastes like a strawberry cheesecake. For the whole 3 days, we served it all as pre-batched espresso, and no one knew. And no one said a thing. In fact, well, they said lots of things. How great is this? How much does it taste like a strawberry cheesecake? How amazing. And I didn't tell anyone. We had it in a glass bottle and we poured it out, and just to see how it would go. And, you know, and we wanted to have extra coffees on the grinder. So I was, okay, we can double our coffee menu size by just like pre-batching some others and then putting some other coffee in the grinder. If you've been to my coffee shop in the last 2 years, you've had it. And like, people cannot tell the difference. So, you know, these are all like the whys of why we've covered the whys, I guess.
Let's, maybe we can go a bit more to hows as well. Like, I think that's probably one of the biggest questions. So if I want to make pre-batch espresso at home, Kirk, like where are you going to send me? Do I need to do any different recipes? Do I need to change my approach? What do I need to do to replicate this pre-batched espresso in my own environment?
Just make it as you normally would and put it in the fridge. That's really all there is to it. With maybe a few caveats. So at our shop, we make our espresso with an extremely concentrated recipe. So one of the theories that I had when opening this Project Zero originally was I want to try and reduce the cost of making a latte by using a 25 gram dose and having a 36 gram yield and a concentration of nearly 13%. And basically that's super, and we can use a single shot for an 8-ounce cup. Whereas I think the standard in Australia is to use a double shot, maybe 20 grams double shot for an 8-ounce cup. That's fair to say. Most places do that. But we can have, you know, similar, if not the same results by doing a single shot with that recipe because we understood extraction. One of the caveats I would say for when you're pre-batching espresso is that there's probably a little bit of intensity lost from the lack of crema. So I add like an extra mil or two to make up for that. But, you know, one of the differences between, I guess you could probably taste with pre-batch, and although it's somewhat hard to identify, is the first sip's kind of the same as the last sip. When you're making it with when you make it with a super fresh crema straight off the machine to get that latte out, right? You take a sip, like that first sip's a little bit more intense. But with the pre-batched espresso, like it kind of tastes the same from the first sip to the last sip. So it's a much more homogeneous drink.
Yeah, and stability is also something really good from like a product point of view, a scalability point of view, a consistency point of view. So like I see a lot of benefits in that. And I think I remember when I tasted it, like the things we're looking for, especially myself as like a professional and someone who would, you know, be seen as a consultant to advise for business is, can I find any fundamental issues with this? From a taste point of view, it was quite literally like, no. Maybe I like it a bit stronger. Maybe I like it a little bit weaker. Maybe I want a little bit more length, which is probably what we're kind of getting from that crema. However, day-to-day average person, would I be able to tell which one is which? No. Would I be able to tell you, I've been in Melbourne for 4 weeks, where your coffee sits in the spectrum of coffees I've had? I've had some coffees that wouldn't even, like your pre-batch is like, you know, 3 or 4, 5 points away from that milky. Like it's, people can't even touch what you're doing in a pre-batch and they're making that coffee fresh. So there's a whole bunch of cafes serving way worse coffee. But again, like I don't think we need to justify quality. We have key people in the industry kind of justifying this for you. And I think that's what is causing it to be so controversial, because we're having this like general consumer day to day. And you know me, like I've studied a lot of like the multi-sensory experience of coffee and how, you know, things outside of taste and aroma influence the way we experience things. And that's what, you know, Hany Ezzat is fully built off. like that scientific element of like all the things you look at, the things you hear, and the things you touch and feel, they impact the way a coffee experience happens. But also that influences everything we experience in life. And if I'm to tell you what's your favorite meal, most people start with the place and the people they're around before they even go to the point of what the dish was and how it was constructed. Because you can have the exact same dish in a completely negative environment and it won't be the best dish of your life. So there's a whole bunch of like subliminal and kind of, again, the other parts of your senses that would pay a huge influence on like how someone's going to perceive your coffee before you give it to them when it comes out of the taps, which is probably why a lot of that controversy is happening, because people are looking and going, well, that's fucked.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. There's some guy telling me he's worked for 25 years and in coffee, God knows where, and he's yelling at me and Simon saying we have no fucking idea what we're talking about with coffee. And Simon's a reigning Brewers Cup champion and I've been in the top 5 for Australia for the past 5 years.
Well, I mean,
but we don't know what we're fucking talking about.
Expert, Hany.
Well, we don't fucking know.
Yeah, but this is, I think what also bothers these people is that someone from specialty has done this. It's not like it's not someone from Starbucks. Like I can see why people think it's a Starbucks idea or a 7-Eleven idea. I really do. But a specialty person's done this.
But does 7-Eleven pre-batch espresso? Like I actually don't know. Like I think it still comes out of like a one-shot machine. It still grinds the coffee fresh. Like they're still making
how long do you think
fresher coffee than you?
How long wow. How long before they copy me do you think?
Well, if it's not already being done, like I wouldn't be surprised. But
these are the people that are taking notice. Like,
yeah,
people from coffee chains in America have been messaging me in the UK.
Dude, I've been getting messages. I just fucking made the video.
Yeah.
I'm about to consult someone overseas on it. I'm like, all right, let's have a look.
Okay.
Like, but at the end of the day, like I still don't think like anyone can copy the concept, but if it's not done at the level, it's because you are specialty. People see it as the art. Well, but like it's the same concept of like tamping 10 years ago. Like that's an art.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like I hired a guy recently who hasn't tamped before. Like,
I mean,
it's very
no one knows how to tamp anymore.
But you know what? Like one thing that I was thinking about today and is that we're not charging less for this, right? And because
you want to make more money because now it's worth it.
And the quality is still there. But the average quality of a coffee in Melbourne in the last 5 years has gone down, in my opinion, because beans have gotten more expensive. So much has gotten more expensive. People are like, businesses are still paying the same amount for their green coffee, which actually means they're getting lower quality because that higher quality is not available at that price anymore. So people are effectively divesting in the quality of their coffee, in my opinion. And so what I want to do is reinvest in the quality. If I can do things like this and save a little bit of money here and there, I can put more money and energy into refining the product, better blend components, better machinery, all these other things.
And these are things also that maybe like from a customer's point of view, they're not seeing the benefit directly, but also say someone picks up your concept and goes, well, yeah, I'm actually going to focus on my customer experience and I'm going to completely reinvent the feeling of being in a cafe. Like you're in a CBD. No one wants to have a chat. Maybe a few here and there. They have the quick hi and bye, but that whole thing happens at the till anyway. So none of that's really changed for anybody. I don't think they're really thinking about it. And now when we say, oh, we're ruining the job of a barista, no, as a barista, I want you to actually be able to understand how coffee tastes, how to execute a good coffee and not worry about you making mistakes and making bad coffees and focusing all on the technical aspects. It's kind of like just we got to move with the times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're not moving with the times, it's like saying, well, I'm going to manually write out all of these really high level work emails instead of talking to ChatGPT and getting it to do it for me. ChatGPT is not doing the thinking for you and neither are these machines. These machines can't make the pre-batched espresso and they can't pick the coffees and they can't make it taste good. They're facilitating all of these things so we can do it.
Yeah, 100%. It's I got one thing that has kind of annoyed me this week about, the reaction, because someone made a video where I said, the slowest part now is the ordering and then waiting for my milk to be steamed. And they sent it to one of my sponsors, Barista Group, and and it comes across as me saying, it sounds like I'm saying bad things about the Uber milk, and sent it to him, trying to get me in trouble, basically. And
You're a bad guy. You're a fuckwit.
Whoever said that, you're a jerk. But also, let me get on one about the Uber milk for a second, because it is instrumental to what I'm doing. And
the funniest thing is, so many people on that video have never seen an Uber milk.
Which is
ridiculous considering how long it's been on the market.
The Uber milk, it does speed up the process dramatically. And I'm about to get the Uber milk plus, and that will go even further, because we'll do 3 milks. But one of the biggest benefits that I don't think anyone really talks about having an Uber milk is that it doesn't add any water to your milk. So if you steam a jug in your La Marzocco Linear PB, if you steam it or on any coffee machine, it adds water weight to your milk.
About 12%.
About 12%. And so, but that's not the case with the Uber milk. That is one of the keys to making our coffee taste much, much better.
Sweeter, fuller, rounder.
It adds no extra water, and that is why it's so good. So, this has transitioned to an excellent sponsorship ad read, and I thank the guy for giving me the inspiration, because Barista Group, Joe, I apologize if I created any heat for you. I apologize if someone took any negatives out of it, but I want to correct the record. The Uber milk is the best, the best. If I could put it in my bed with me and have a nap with it, I would. Every now and then I do just give it a little kiss. Just a little.
We did the math on an Uber milk at Honor. As a kind of a more of a piece for a client to help justify what an Uber milk looks like for efficiency, for wages. And I think we worked out it ended up being 40 to 60% of a wage is saved through using an Uber milk in the right setting.
Yeah, it's one of the best investments you can make for your cafe. And people who listen to this know that I always say this. There's a difference between an expense and an investment. An electricity bill is an expense. An Uber milk is an investment.
Absolutely.
And it gets a return. You need to invest wisely. You need to invest if you have the funds. This is not financial advice, but
But to be fair, from Uber milk perspective as well, and Joe's perspective, I'm pretty confident there's no other milk dispensing foaming thing on the market that is as fast as an Uber milk. It's not I know, because I've done research and I've tested all the machines.
But
none of them are actually even close to the level of being where Uber milk is right now. And if there is, feel free to reach out and talk to us if you're listening.
No, don't, because this video is sponsored by Barista Group, and
I want to hear it. I want you to tell me why.
Yeah,
is it faster? Because I don't think there is. I'm pretty confident. But Joe will tell you there's no faster machine out there.
It is so well made, and I've had to pretty much treat. So I'm buying the Uber milk plus. We're going to be the first in Melbourne with it. I've pretty much been acting like a salesperson in reverse, trying to get them to sell it to me, because I'm rushing them to get it installed in Melbourne when they are based in Sydney, and they can't really immediately come and service me if there's any issues. So I'm taking a bit of a risk, but that's how much I believe in this product. And, and Joe and the team from Barista Group have been really supportive and helpful in my journey with this. And,
but those guys pioneered so much as well. He was the one bringing Uber milk into Australia when no one else was believing in this product. Joe is a legend. I spoke to him a few days ago after he saw the video, wanted to have a chat. And for me, I see Joe as kind of someone who really understands the quality of equipment. He understands the depth on the coffee side as well, and he can get nerdy and he can get into that side, but he's also that realist and understands the real world side of it. So 100% big shout out to Joe. And I've heard that he's got some really cool stuff in the works too. So he's definitely someone to keep an eye on in terms of equipment.
Yeah.
And Uber Milk Plus, he's been telling us about it for over a year and a bit.
Yeah.
He was teasing me with that, probably exactly what you're going to be running in the shop. Keep an eye out, people. What Joe showed me was he showed us the future when he showed us that machine.
And we've got the Maki Bar Izaga grinder as well. That's a
Izaga, 100%.
And there's new Chino Tampers as well, which has been awesome. It's got a touchscreen stuff. So, they've been awesome to work with and really instrumental to what we're doing. And whoever sent that video to him inspired me to have this little 5 minutes or so to talk about them. And, what a organic ad read.
Yeah. Okay. But I have like a gripe now. Like I want to ask a question.
Okay.
The thing that annoyed me the most when I came to your shop is the first thing I saw was a KB90. Like, why the fuck do you have that there?
Linear PB.
Same thing.
That's there just to make espresso, like fresh, like to make a single origin espresso, because we're not serving, the tap,
Pre-batched.
as like a black coffee. It does not taste good like that. So,
But why didn't you get like a single group or like a small machine, or like have it kind of not front and center? Like, why didn't you do that?
I wanted to get a mod bar, but the requirements underneath I couldn't do
Didn't
it.
fit.
Yeah. So, but it's also there in case the taps break down for whatever reason. Like I'm really scared of technology at the moment because it constantly fails on me. Like this morning, I'm going to go on one for a second. This is a bit of a Karen rant. So I have a Sonos music speaker.
Sonos fucking sucks.
Sonos
I'm so sorry.
Fucking sucks.
Bro, every time I touch a Sonos, I get pissed off.
Dude, I sent like the most Karen message in the group chat this morning being like, what happened to the Sonos? And this is mind you, this is the fourth issue I've had with it where it won't work in the last week and a half. And so I had no music at the cafe at all today, which is a vibe killer.
That's fucked.
And then I ripped it out of the wall. I gave it a wipe. I took it down to JB Hi-Fi and I said, please, for the love of God, let me trade this in for something else. And I've got to give a shout out to JB Hi-Fi here. Whoever the clerk was, they exchanged it for me within 10 minutes, gave me a new JBL system where I can just plug in with a wire. So it's not like I don't have to give it my fucking address. I don't have to give it like my social security number. I don't have to Bluetooth. I don't have to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm just going to plug that sucker in analog and it's going to play music. And I got to give a shout out to JB Hi-Fi because I did that and I got $200 back.
Dude, that's the thing. I'm just like, in what world is a Sonos? Like for a cafe, like every time they buy them, like we could have saved so much money. Buy 2 UE booms, like dead ass, buy 2 UE booms. They can connect to each other. They last longer. They're fucking wireless. You can keep it plugged in. Like there's so many different options that are just very simplistic. Like, what are we doing?
This is, you know what? I was actually thinking, do you want to introduce a new segment right now?
Yeah, go on.
Because I've been cooking on this one. We can unveil it right now.
Right.
You want to unveil it?
I'm ready.
It's called, you know what? It's called Grinds My Beans.
Oh, yeah, I like Grinds My Beans.
You know what really grinds my beans?
Fucking Sonos.
Fucking Sonos. The Sonos speaker's not working in the cafe. It grinds my beans. Like, why don't you work? I pay for you to work $600. If we can build missile interception systems that calculate a rocket's trajectory and intercept it mid-sky, we can connect a Sonos to a phone and play some Olivia Goddamn Dean. If we can make like an AI machine gun that can choose a target and blow their head off, we can connect a Sonos to play some music. Why don't you work? I hate you, Sonos. I hate you. Like, I don't hate anything, but like I said to one of my staff, like, I don't know if I want to go trade it in. I think I'd like to just smash it. Like, fuck you, Sonos. You're dead. You're dead to me. I hate you. Don't
post
buy a
this on
Sonos.
Instagram. If we get 10,000 likes, you have to buy a Sonos and smash it. Oh, 10,000. I reckon that's a good.
I'd rather just donate it to like someone in need.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
They're cancelled. They're out in the bin. So that's what really grinded my bean this week.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'll just add on like just my 2 cents. Like even just upping the volume on a Sonos, like it's delayed. Everything's delayed.
Oh, bro.
It's like it's Wi-Fi. What are we doing?
Yeah. Look, Sonos. Just like I honestly, after this podcast, I don't think I ever want to talk about it again. Like
it's done. That's what grind my beans is for. It's like it's been ground, and we can't. You can't regrind that. You can't regrind.
It's not pre-batched espresso.
Yeah, it's not pre-batched.
It doesn't just get.
It's finished.
Reworked like that. Did you have a?
So that's something I'm like passionately upset about right now.
Is something grinding your beans?
What's grinding my beans right now? Fuck, you know what's grinding my beans?
Tell me.
Well, I've just moved to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Canberrian at heart.
Mm-hmm.
What fucking grinds my beans is why the fuck does it take everyone so long to drive and get anywhere around this place? Like this place is built so inefficiently. Like Canberra's just roundabouts. We're not stopping.
It's the city of roundabouts.
It's the city of roundabouts. Their transport in Melbourne is poo bum. Like there's no other way to say it. It's poo bum. I want to drive 9Ks. I'm in for a 45-minute drive.
Oh, yeah,
what are we doing?
Yeah, nah.
And trams. All right, just riddle me this. Why does a tram be in the middle of the road so it stops every other lane when it needs to stop? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, but if it was on the other side, like, does anyone get disturbed?
Grinds my beans, man.
Does anybody get disturbed if the tram's on the other side of the road? Like, like I don't understand. Like a bus. Like imagine it just had its own bus lane. Like why does it need to be in the middle?
Yeah, and you can't like tap on with your card or phone either.
You can't.
Yeah, no, you got to do this.
That's just a Sydney thing. Sydney can do it.
Yeah, Sydney can do it. Fucking Adelaide can do it. You can't do it here. Jesus.
Okay. Well, like I'm not here to talk about police. Let's get back to coffee. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I just need to maybe grab a prop from my bag. I think I've got it in there. Just 1 second.
all right.
Entertain again while I'm doing
Quick ad break. What do we have? What are we ad breaking?
Oh, it's not here.
Oh, you're teasing me. It's a big tease. You forgot it. Oh no. He's fully forgotten.
I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to unveil a new sponsor.
Oh,
We've got a new sponsor.
okay.
So I want to unveil to you all the brand new sponsor for the coffee show with Kirk Pearson. Welcoming to the family, Apex Labs.
Yeah.
It was always going to happen.
There's the Apex Lab right here.
Yeah.
Actually, this has got tonic in there.
Nah, well, I'll get my lovely editor Wira. Apex Labs here. So Apex Labs, I think everyone knows what they are by now. If you don't, they're mineral concentrates that you can add to your brewing water or pretty much anything nowadays, and they enhance the quality of your brew. So we just had one of my guys, Alex Moore, he just came second in the Brewers Cup in Australia, and we used Apex Labs. And we actually did a little experiment. So we were testing some minerals that we bought off Amazon, and they're supposed to dissolve and reach a certain level of purity, right? I don't think they were like even 1/10 of the purity that they were advertised as on the label. And all of Simon's concentrates are as pure as they say they are. So they come in 600 ppm concentrates, right? And they like, you just add them as droplets and they're like so good for brewing water. If you want to, one of the single best things you can do at home if you're brewing is to just buy some Apex Labs. It works for espresso. It works for filter. You can put it with your matcha. I'm probably going to start putting it in my batches actually of the pre-batched espresso. So
makes sense.
Simon and I are working on that. So I want to welcome Apex Labs to the Coffee Show with Kirk Pearson family. We got another sponsor, and you know, appreciate Simon supporting the show. But if you're listening to this and you're a business owner, you're a potential distributor overseas, get in touch with Simon from Apex Labs. Just email brew@projectzero.coffee, which is the email I'm using for this right now, and I can get you in touch. But yeah, welcome again to Simon from Apex Labs.
Cheers, Simon.
We're getting a few more sponsors at the moment, and this is really good. And if you get to a point where you feel like, oh, Kirk, you're getting a bit heavy on the advertisements, my objective is to keep this podcast free, right? I spend a lot of time and effort. You get a new one each week. It costs me a lot of time to do. I do a lot of it by myself. And we obviously take the show overseas, and we like to produce the best podcast we can. Part of doing that is, funding it. And my goal is to never put it behind a paywall. I don't want to be a Patreon podcast. I want it to be free for baristas because baristas are not made of money. That's one of my biggest motivations for this.
And you're aligned with the brands, all the brands you work with. You're not selling us
snake oil.
Yeah, you're not going full snake oil. So
but like Barista Group, I mentioned before, using the podcast, the Oatly ads, using my cafe. Sorry, the Oatly.
That's
ads
what I mean. Like you're kind of using everything that you are promoting and sponsored by. So I don't really see. I don't see any issues with it. So if you're listening, just get into it.
There's been other brands that have approached me that I haven't said yes to because, Did
Sonos hit you up or?
Sonos are on the blacklist.
I actually hope Sonos hits you up. I want to see. We'll put you to the test.
Honestly, they could get me on as like a product consultant because I could definitely consult them on what not to do.
Yeah.
But Anyway, so welcome to the coffee show family, Apex Labs.
Nice.
Simon, appreciate you. Camille, love you. Thank you so much. I am on the back end of like a 15-hour day, so I'm sorry I didn't have the product here, but Wira, ding, is going to edit it in.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, most people listening anyway, so I think just the visualization for them will be good.
You know what? A lot of people actually send me pictures of them watching it on the television. Like they put it up on the television like this, and I'm honored. I'm flattered.
Well, I look good, so if you're listening, maybe you want to go to the thing. I've been getting Bad Bunny a lot, so yeah.
You have. You've been a Bad Bunny guy for a little while now, or a couple of days.
I've been Bad Bunny for a while, but then we I came out as Bad Bunny yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, I thought Bad Bunny's performance was awesome. I didn't understand him, but like the moves, the dance moves, and Lady Gaga, damn Lady Gaga.
Do you want to hear something really funny? I lip synced a song and then someone asked me what does that song mean? And I don't know, do you know the song that I lip sync? Do you know what it's all about? Look, it's not PG, so we'll go off the thing, but you can just look up that song.
Sexual?
Nature? Oh, it's hella. It's vulgar.
Oh, Bad Bunny song.
Yeah, it's hella vulgar.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay.
So he's
it just really hits the vibe.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm happy that, we did that and
he's a for lack of a better phrase, good looking rooster. He's
I think so too.
Well put together.
If he looks like me, he's got to look good.
Oh, there we go. And you got the glasses on indoors and everything.
Yeah, these are blue light. They cover in the blue.
Is that for sleep purposes?
No, so you don't get all the bullshit from the lights. Blue Elephant, shout out. Got these in Kazakhstan.
What's Kazakhstan like?
It was probably the best trip of my life. Coffee people there were so inspirational. For me, quite a life-changing trip. Chihun, who's runs a brand called Flask. We've been friends for quite some time, and he keeps telling me he's going to take me to Kazakhstan, and then we finally made it happen with help of a huge coffee show there. And this is a place where a lot of people haven't tried geisha before. Something as basic as a raspberry candy from Honor, which is not basic in itself, but for accessibility and what we're used to, this is a really amazing coffee. But this is something that is life-changing for people over there. People never had geisha before. And the thing that I got the most out of it is I felt like we were adding a lot of value, and I got to see, a lot of the reasons why I do coffee and kind of got connected to coffee so early. It was those moments you share with people. They kind of gave me so much inspiration and so much energy back. These are people who are working, 18 plus hours for half the amount of money. And I saw the Kirk of Kazakhstan. I met the Simon of Kazakhstan. I met the Hany of Kazakhstan.
How were they?
More inspirational. They worked harder than us for less, and purely just based off a geographical thing where they were born. I realized that I needed to do a lot more. I needed to go harder, and I needed to be thankful for the privileges that we have and the ability to pioneer things and the ability to go where we want to go. So it's kind of that energy and that feeling. Would highly recommend going there. Mm-hmm. Purely visually, that place is the most gorgeous place I've ever been to.
Snow mountains you were
Did you
at.
see the mountains?
Yeah.
Yep. And the people are so kind. They're so keen on coffee. It was kind of like when we first started coffee, how it was just a buzz.
Mm.
It's the same thing there. And we got a younger generation of baristas, which I think really ties back into the podcast original topic is if we go to any cafe right now, the demographic of people that are in the cafe are no younger than maybe 24, 25. And we need to talk about this because we don't really have a young, I don't know any 18-year-old baristas anymore. And I don't know
about staff.
Well, yeah, I'm talking in general. I don't know any 18-year-old baristas that are coming and wanting to do coffee. I don't know any young kids that are just thriving. I was making coffee at 13 and I wasn't the only one doing it. There was so many kids, coffee was cool and all of that. We're in such a different world.
Mm.
And people can moan and do all of this about the whole art of making coffee. But let's face it, we're all getting older, and in the future, our customer, they like tapping on the screen. They like ordering from a screen. McDonald's is a really good example. Does anyone want to go and order at McDonald's? Maybe it was a really nice art to go talk to the person at McDonald's in the beginning. But now it's like, no, just get it. It's efficient. It's good. It's there. I'm not comparing the specialty coffee to McDonald's, but what I'm saying is we need to adapt. If we don't adapt, like, because it's just all going to die because the efficiency is not there. The hunger is not there from the younger generation. But when I say from a working point of view, I'm also saying from a consumer point of view. I don't think the younger generation is appreciating latte art on a flat white. They're not appreciating a really well-made flat white because we've created that as an average. And more importantly, people's palates are getting more and more complex. Yeah. So like a basic milky coffee, that's why I think your kind of, what is it called? The co-fermented drinks are doing so well because it's the coffee flavor plus something a bit more. But, you know, I had this great chat with Monin last week and they were telling me how that, like, you know, even if we're making kind of a drink with syrup in it, people don't want just one flavor anymore. They want complexity. They want the 5 tastes. They want spice, umami, all of these extra layers, which coffee can provide. But they want it really fast. They want it quick and they want it colorful and they want it fun. Yeah. So if we want to go that way, we need to adapt.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Coffee is struggling because it's not a career for a lot of people, and it's because you can't raise a family and buy a home being a barista or even a coffee roaster. So it's like that's one of the biggest challenges right now. Is like we're struggling to make it a career, and because of that, a lot of the best talent has left the industry. I know a guy that works as a prison guard right now who hates his job. But he's got 2 kids and he loves coming to the cafe. He misses being a barista and all that stuff. But he has to go, risk his safety guarding youths in detention to support his family. And that's one of the saddest things about the coffee industry, really, because coffee is so undervalued that it just.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like all those people in the comments, you know, if you want to continue having that one-on-one coffee experience and that whole craft being made, how about we all start paying $12 for our flat whites, and when we put the price up, stop crying, because that's the only way that we're going to get to that stage, and we're just in that transitioning phase right now. Because in 10 years' time, we're going to have this chat thinking like, haha, you remember when you made those taps and everyone was soaking, and it's like, there's going to be one machine that probably does all of those machines together. And we're just like, yeah, that was funny, wasn't it? Yeah. Do you remember when we used to tamp? Like we're saying that now. Like it's only a matter of time we've got that resistance. But if we want to keep that art barista, like maybe barista becomes that niche art, and then the value of a barista will completely change because there's so many less. There's people who are learning this art and getting to the levels that we are at. It's quite a valuable skill. Like I consider myself as quite a skilled barista, and the value and the things that I've learnt that could only be learnt in the cafe, you know, there's a huge demand for that for bigger companies. Yeah. For bigger things. So there is a lot of opportunity, but you need to be able to diversify. You can't just be working in the cafe every day. If you're like a young barista listening to this, like you need to think about how am I utilizing technology? And there's probably there's kids out there doing crazy stuff. Yeah. Like crazy sidebar. I know it sounds really weird. I talked to like a 17-year-old kid like a couple of days ago in Canberra. He's making $400,000 making AI OnlyFans models. Okay. And he made that OnlyFans model say my name and do some crazy things, and I couldn't tell you it was AI. Wow. And he's making money. So, you know, that like I'm saying, what I'm trying to get out of that. Sidebar. Yeah. What I'm trying to get out of that is that maybe the old barista is gone, but the new barista, like what are you doing to enhance someone's experience? What are you doing to elevate? What are you doing to pioneer something new in the space? Project Zero is exactly what's happening right now. That's one. There's many other ways we can incorporate this, and we don't want to lose hospitality, but we need to adapt. And that's like the biggest thing at the end of the day. Yeah, I would say hospitality is one of the best things you get at our shop. You know? Well, that was the thing. You made me a 15-second coffee, and then we just talked for ages. And then when you had another coffee come through, we had a pause for like 5 seconds, and then you were back on talking to me. So realistically, that art was even enhanced when we were there. I got interviewed by Broadsheet today. So that's probably like Australia's biggest hospitality publication. And it was the lead writer dude. And so when he came in, it was a bit quiet, and
I was just talking to him one-on-one, and then like a swarm of maybe 20 people literally came at the one time. And then I said, oh, I'll just see how Javen goes, my staff member. And then I said, just give me a second. But I said, watch this. And then so like just got all the espressos prepped using the tap method, lined them up. And meanwhile, I've got the Uber milk just on dial and just pouring it all out. So like made 20 drinks in like 2 minutes. And he was just like, that was, really quick, really interesting to watch. And it's all done with such precision and like the
wastage, like something that we just haven't even thought about. Like that's just been minimized like on a crazy level. Like we're not having shots being thrown out because the grinder temperature is changing over time. Like you've got so many things that are actually like subliminally like being saved with all of this. One question that just pops to mind, I mean, feel free to comment or no comment, but like the storage of the espresso, have we thought about like kind of sediment resting in the bottom? Have we thought about obviously the lack of crema? Have we thought about like microbial activity that's happening in there? So like there's a lot of things that are like still question marks, Kirk. Like what are you kind of, what's your feeling around this and how are you kind of like approaching and handling all of this?
Well, I've got, as I was telling you before the podcast, I've got a guy who's just quit his job as an engineer that's coming to work for me. And I'm going to like, part of his job is going to be researching this stuff. And so, for me, I think the biggest next step is like the filtration, if anything needs to be filtered, because you can, like there are sediments, but as the method that we're doing it right now, so if I leave it sitting in a bottle, which we store it in, a lot of the sediments seem to settle at the bottom, and when I pour it in, they remain in. That's not to say there's none, but I've tried it when it's filtered, and I think it removes a bit too much.
Yeah, because paper filter just taking out too much. It might need to go through like a plastic membrane that literally takes solids out only, right?
Or do we need to take the solids out at all? So, I mean, if we're having the espresso fresh, it all remains in some degree, and
it's still in the bottom of an espresso.
Yeah. But like what I'm thinking is like, I'm actually working on getting some magnetic stirrers and attaching them to the bottom to keep it on under constant agitation, so that like, all right, well, instead of one part having more solids than the other part having none, maybe, then it's all just equally distributed. Yeah. So
like a slushy machine.
Yeah, keeping it under constant agitation. I think that's like the next goal. I'm pretty happy with the consistency.
I have a question too, actually. Dude, what does Dritan think of all of this? Like, has he commented yet? Or like, I'm kind of curious. Like, what does he?
Dritan Alcella.
Yeah, what does he think? The fuck matcha guy.
If you're listening,
Dritan, shout out. Can you tell us? I want to know. You said fuck matcha, but like, what about pre-batched?
What do you think, Dritan?
I want him to post. Like, I feel like he'll have a really good opinion on this. Like, I'd be very curious. I'm very curious.
Like, I want him to approve, but I know he won't. So, like,
did you want to hear the craziest thing? Do you know the reason Barista Hany's a thing is because of Dritan?
Oh,
I swear on my life, the first ever piece of content I posted about coffee would have been back in 2014 or 13 on Instagram. I made the Barista Hany.
Goodness me.
And
I wasn't even making coffee then.
I remember like I posted a picture of latte and he just liked it. Right? And he was pretty big still back then. And I just thought, fuck, man, this guy's like the most inspirational dude ever. Like, I'm so inspired. I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to focus on coffee. Like, he actually was like one of the biggest reasons I'm like in the coffee industry, which is kind of crazy.
I think
he's come full circle.
Yeah. It reminds me, I was thinking about this earlier today. There was a clear moment where I was like, this is what I want to do. And it's when Ben Morrow made me a flat white at St. Ali. And it was like, it was drinking something that was like an out of body experience.
Yeah.
You know, he is one of the most talented baristas. It's kind of a shame that he just roasts now because he's such a talented barista. And he's pretty low key these days, but you know, he was big Instagram sensation back in the day. And same with Shinsaku Fukuyama. Like he's like
exactly
a great barista. And you know, it was an honor working with him. But
they paved the way, those people, you know. But yeah, it's kind of cool, just a random little another sidebar, but there you go.
I had a sidebar that I was cooking on for a second there, but I've forgotten it now.
Okay.
It might come back.
Should we come back to like some of our favorite comments of our favorite video.
All right. So Hany and I agreed that before the podcast, we would pick out 3 of his favorite comments. So I don't know what they are, whatever amount you've picked, and he's going to get my reaction to them. So whenever you're ready, Hany, you can read me your favorite comments and who they're from, and we'll get my reaction, because I probably haven't read them all either. Shout out to Jamie Thompson, who has been the knight in shining armor defending me in the comments and giving really detailed responses as well.
I love that Jamie was up at all hours of the night. I remember looking at wait, what the fuck are you doing commenting on this at 5 a.m?
Well, he's got an altruistic motive here. He's been on one. So same with Simon Gawthorne. So sponsoring the podcast.
The sponsor,
and defending,
it's a conflict of interest.
Oh, no, it's not.
All right. So Foxy Tune _ big
Foxy
shout out.
Tune.
We love Foxy Tune. He's got 683 likes.
Oh, damn.
He's done well. I'm pretty proud of him. He has tripled the like count versus his followers. So it's a fucking good comment.
It's a good comment.
You want to ready for this?
Hit me.
You better believe that if I see a pre-batch espresso, I'm walking right the fuck out the shop. Coffee already takes less than a minute to make. In the pursuit of efficiency, is it really worth the drop in quality? Question mark, where did that come from? This is another one of those technologies where maybe I'm being obtuse. But I just can't see a practical application for it rather than it just goes faster. Which is yeah, fine, but does it need to go faster? What do you feel about that, Kirk?
Yeah, Foxy Tune probably works at an East Oregon, small time cafe doing small time amounts of coffee, and
he likes Transformers.
He likes Transformers, but anyway, that is just. I mean, it's half decent. He's not being a complete jerk, but the the application, the applications are limitless, and I mean, if we've already covered a bit of this in the podcast so far, but we want to make cafes more efficient. We want to make them more profitable. We want to make them run smoother. So, and the taste doesn't drop at all. There's no drop in quality. There's actually a lot of people that would rather not wait and would I'll pay an extra $1 or $2 to go to this place because I'll get it right now and it's going to taste good. So who loses? Who loses?
All right, this one's my favorite one.
Okay.
I'm saving my favorite one because I want to go the spiciest one last.
Okay.
But this one's just so good. And I've known this guy for a while. And to be honest, sometimes he just says the most out of pocket stuff.
Okay.
But Coffee _ Gangster.
Oh.
He's pulled through because it really made me laugh. And I feel it needs a lot more credit than it deserved. He said, nah, this is old tech. Old Italian cafes have been serving stale espresso for years.
The Coffee Gangster strikes again.
It's fucking elite, man.
He's had some scandals as well. He's had some proper scandals. I mean, you can go try and dig in for that as well. But the Coffee Gangster, I like Corey. He's a bit on the nose for a lot of people, but he's funny.
It's so good.
Oh.
And then the last one, you may have seen it on my story, but it says you can just lick the footpath for 1 second.
Yeah, I mean,
these comments on quality are ridiculous because it's so funny. These people don't even live in the country that you're making this, and they're just already what do you think a footpath actually tastes like? Do you reckon it changes based off terroir and where we are?
No, I mean, I'm sure a Kazakhstani footbath, looks a bit different to an Australian one,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that's old USSR concrete versus Melbourne crackhead CBD Central. There's would be a big difference.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird one. Have you got anything that's really nasty, just nuclear obliteration?
There's a lot of nah, fuck that shit, and there's a lot of people that just say shit, terrible. I'm gonna just I know that there was a real spicy one in here. I just want to find it. Just gonna. No, that one's being nice. We don't want that. We don't want anyone being nice to you, do we?
No. Yeah, let me have it.
Let me have it. Okay. I just want to find a really angry one. We have a lot of comments, so thank you everybody for jumping in.
Yeah, no, it's been a well engaged with post. Let's just say.
I just want someone to really attack you, Kirk.
I want that too. But, like I guess part of me thinks like I'm kind of the Scott Rao podcast and the backlash to that really got me ready for this. Like I don't think I would have coped
You've been
as well.
hurt before.
I don't think I would have coped as well if I hadn't have dealt with that. And like I also just don't have time to respond to all this right now because like even us doing this podcast has been like a stretch for me because, we like that has that. Amidst all this, we're still keeping the podcast going. You're still going to get your weekly Monday upload, and I've got some other great podcasts in the pipeline. So, by the way, like and subscribe, comment on all this shit. It helps a bunch. If you made it this far, please do all that. Really, really helps. How you going with that comment search?
I'm looking for a specific one, but like you'll be able to find it. But it was something along the lines of like, look at this guy in a t-shirt and shorts. He has no fucking idea how to make coffee. I'm definitely not going to fucking try this. So there was someone
he
really
said I was in
coming-
my pajamas.
In your pajamas?
Yeah, he said I was in my pajamas, which was actually a burn, by the way. I kind of got that. I was like, ouch.
Yeah,
that
to
one
be
hurt.
fair, if you're the future of coffee, that's the home barista. You're in your pajamas making the coffee. It's not too far-fetched.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just to kind of, I guess, wrap up and conclude, really specifically focused on it. I've been like really sitting on the fence, like whether I know if this is a good thing or not. I love what you're doing in the shop, and I think it's for me, it's pioneering the space, and I was so interested and I was so excited to try it. I'm not sure because, of course, I love the art of making coffee, and I'm sure you do as well, but we know the pressures and everything we're feeling now, it's right for all those reasons. But the other scary side is similar to what you said, like how many people are copying this right now? Where is all this going to go? Is this actually going to kill our industry? And that's what a lot of people might be scared of. I guess we won't know. But if we decide to sit on the bleachers and we decide to sit back, the people who are this industry and people who made this industry, we're the ones that are going to lose, not the people who are going to be copying or making the idea or the big brands.
You still have to know what you're doing to be able to do this well. And I am sure that there's going to be brands that do it with really terrible coffee and give really terrible results, which will, but
7-Eleven's not doing it right. Like I think people relating you to 7-Eleven, they're still making fresh coffee at 7-Eleven. I'm pretty sure the beans get ground through like an Eversys style model.
Yeah.
Unless I haven't been to 7-Eleven in a while.
I've tested the concentration of 7-Eleven coffees and it varies wildly between like 2 to 7%. Like, the same machine between shots, like the inconsistency is massive. Like you don't get the same product every time at 7-Eleven.
No, but also that's not the market we're in. You want a really good coffee, you want it quick as well.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to settle for 7-Eleven. I think it's just a completely different product, completely different world.
And I actually think 7-Eleven plays an important role in the coffee system. Like,
Isn't it the most consumed coffee in Australia, or is it still McCafe?
I think it's still McCafe, but like
They're pretty close. They're really close.
Yeah, both of them play an important role actually, I think, because without good, there is no bad. And like they, obviously they're competitive. Somehow that like McDonald's coffee is like not even that much cheaper than one of my coffees, but we can talk about that another time. But like to have those like that cheaper option, like I don't want to compel everyone to pay for a coffee that's out of their price range. And having that coffee there, being available, it's not like I fear losing customers to it because 7-Eleven people, they like that coffee, but it kind of makes my coffee stand out better. You know what I mean? And so like, I really don't fear it. And I don't discourage people for drinking it. I don't, if that's like, it plays an important role in the coffee ecosystem.
You like what you like. And some people start on 7-Eleven coffee and that's what brings them to us, which is that pointy end of the spectrum at the end of the day, which inevitably will never die. But again, just the scale that this pointy end of the spectrum is, especially here in Melbourne, it's become competitive.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
And anyone internationally listening, until you've been here and not just been here, been a cafe owner here, you won't have that perspective. That bubble doesn't exist for you because you're not faced with those challenges that business owners are going through. I have 60 of them as my clients. I hear their woes every day. And we're just looking for ways to help them survive. And when we say survive, it's not like, oh, I'm driving an Audi R8 around and I'm living a fucking good life and I just want to make more money. It's like, nah, I just want to make sure that I don't have to fork out money at the end of the month, and I want to make sure my staff feel good and I'm not overworking people. And I think it's just such a different thing, especially like I think a lot of that backlash has come from people who don't live here. Yeah,
for sure. That's a good place to end it. I know you've got a family dinner to attend, and I need to go get some sleep. I'm not sleeping much at the moment, but
kind of feel really like I'm responsible for the 3 a.m. wake ups. Like I just like, even if I'm not, just give me that peace of mind that I'm like, yeah, we did.
You are responsible.
Yeah.
But yeah, keeping up has been good. There's probably a whole nother episode in how I plan on scaling it next. You know.
Yeah, and I think by the time we get to that, I'm cooking on something in the background too that I'm like keen to share with you. But I think like we'll keep it a secret because I want to ruin the industry a little bit later on.
Okay.
We'll keep ruining it now, but we'll ruin it even more later.
I am the man responsible for destroying Australia's espresso culture, apparently. So, you know, you're welcome. And, you know, I hope
you fucked the coffee industry, Kirk. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you. No, it means a lot. But yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks to everyone so much for listening. Thanks to Time More, our final sponsor for the day. They've been supplying us gear for, you know, the cafes and Alex's competition and stuff like that. So timemore.com if you need some brew gear. Visit a local distributor near you. Scales, electric kettles, electric kettles, hand grinders, electric grinders.
Do you want to hear something new with Time More too?
What's that?
Hany could be doing something with Time More. Maybe keep your eyes out for World of Coffee.
Okay. All right. World of Coffee. When's the next one? Bangkok?
All
right.
April? Keep your eyes and ears peeled. We got something cooking with Time More.
All right. Interesting. Bangkok. I might try and go myself. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there, folks. Hooroo, everyone, and thank you for listening. Woo! You can either listen to the third Oatly ad of the day about how you can go to oatly.com and find recipes for the amazing drinks, or read the Future of Taste report. It's from the future. Or learn about the sustainability work. Or you can press the 15-sec forward button on your pod playing device. It's totally up to you.